Hi F2Ps, it's Good Phil here from F2P.com, and today we are checking out Conflict of Nations. It is a free-to-play, browser-based, real-time strategy. It's developed by Dorado Games, or Dog Productions, as you can see at the bottom. But it is done in cooperation with Bitro Labs, who you may be familiar with as the developers of Supremacy 1914 and Call of War 1942. This is quite important because this game is very, very, very similar to the point where it is almost the follow-on from those two previous games. Bitro Labs have done some other games that are essentially the same kind of mechanics, same kind of strategy. There's little twists and tweaks here and there from title to title, and they've done them in different periods. I believe they've got a medieval one as well, but off the top of my head I can't remember what it's called. So they've done a World War One strategy, they've done World War Two strategy in Call of War 1942. This is a modern day strategy, so it's almost like your World War Three. And I didn't initially realize this when I played the game, and straight away I was just like, this is just the same as Supremacy and Conflict of War. This could have been done by Bitro, and then I find out that it was done in cooperation with them. So how much involvement they had, I don't know. Whether it was kind of like, we've part made a game, you can finish it off and host it. I don't know. It's all speculation, so I probably shouldn't say any of it. But we're going to check it out. We're going to do a first look. I've kind of briefly had a glance over it. As it is a slow-paced game, I mean, everything literally takes hours to do, which is the nature of the game. We're just basically going to gloss over the features. You won't really see that much gameplay. We'll show you kind of what you can do. So, browser-based, free-to-play, you can play it now. When you go to the website and sign up, you will start with this. You'll have a list of games available, and by the looks of it, I think 26 is the max. Yeah, so 26 players is the max that you can have. And you can create a new game, or you can join another game. You can select the language, so you've got English, American, and then you've got some German ones, I think there's some French ones around somewhere. The reason being is that when you are playing the game, you will be communicating directly with other players, so it kind of helps if you can all speak the same language. You will also see that there's 26 players, positions, nations that you can control. How many slots are currently available, whether it's ranked or unranked, and the day. So this is day 1, so this means it has been created today. Day 2 would mean it was created yesterday. Literally, it is a full real-time day that has passed. And that's relevant, as we will explain once we go into the game. Instead of joining somebody else's game, we're going to try creating one, because if we join it, then we're taking up a slot and kind of throwing that game a little bit, because our nation will not be carrying on playing it, so our nation won't be doing anything. So we're going to create a new game. Conflict of Nations. We're going to, I guess if we just go, oh, can we even do anything? Okay, I don't even think can we make it into a private game? Okay, Security Council members can create games with special options. Okay, such as the amount of players, random mission select, Okay, so Security Council is your VIP subscription membership. So we have to make test game, don't join. There we go. So I've put that in, but because it highlights the whole thing as white and then does the writing in white, we can't see it. Okay, we're going to create the game. So instead of creating a new game, you could also join one of these running matches. Oh, that's on day 4. And there's 8 out of 26 players. That's on day 5, 10 out of 26. You know what? Let's join this one, because nobody's probably going to join this anyway. We're only going to act like AI, so let's just do that. There we go. We're going to join a game. So it's going to skip over the tutorial. It's going to jump us straight into a match, which is pretty cool. I don't know whether there's going to be nation select. I think it's okay. Yes, so cool. So it will show at the bottom the players that have already been taken, and it is generally the same countries that are always taken. You're pretty much always guaranteed to lose. United States, United Kingdom, Australia, Germany, and Turkey. Those are your givens, and I'm presuming it's just because of the position where they are on the map. Kind of Australia's an island. America's pretty big, but other than sorry, that's America. Obviously, that's not America. Perhaps a little bit harder to reach. Great Britain, it's an island, so I think there's tactical reasons why people choose the ones that they do. I'm not sure why Turkey is. Obviously, I don't know enough about the strategy of the game, but we are gonna go with. We can't zoom in any further. We could go with Poland. We've got Switzerland out playable. Could go France. So if we go France, so standard nation, some buffer states, early to mid PvP, 8 cities. France has several potential enemies close by, but only Germany directly on its eastern border, who we already know is a player. So might be able to kind of get an idea of what the other players are doing, which is cool. European, evenly balanced research and technology doctrine, favours no specific arm of the military service. So each nation has some different options. Late PvP. I'm presuming this is because of how far away other countries are, so you're not as likely to get into an early skirmish. Whereas Brazil, already selected by somebody else. Colombia. So that's mid to late PvP. I don't know. I don't know necessarily what it means, but anyway, we're going to jump into France. Or you can go a random nation. So it does use Google Map to use the world map and break down the countries and continents and position of cities, stuff like that. So this is us. This is where we start. We're just zooming in with the mouse wheel. It doesn't look like we can see any other players yet. I guess we'd have to use some espionage, which is a thing. So London, Birmingham, Manchester, Newcastle, which is good. It's good that they are all a little bit too sensitive. Different territories. They're accurate, which is good. St David's. I didn't know that's what it was called. Milford Haven, Swansea. Okay. I mean, I'll have it. Why not? So yeah, they're about as accurate as I guess you could expect them to be, and they are pretty accurate. So this is where we begin. We have our nation. Let's just close this for a minute. As soon as we select something by accident, it's bringing that up. Can we scroll with arrow keys? No. Can we scroll with WASD? Oh. I don't know what that's doing. Oh, that's doing like a really wide scroll. Okay. He doesn't like it when we do that. So this is the entire world. Big map. When you consider that we're all the way over here, and that's kind of our country and how many territories we have, you get an idea of the scale of this game. Other games like it don't necessarily use the entire world. They might kind of just focus on the European area, or they will focus on North America. These guys have gone to town with the amount of territories and stuff that you can capture. Now, obviously, if it's not a player that's controlling it, it is going to be AI. So, starting out, we have a select number of troops. We've got our cities. So cities, we've got an army base, a harbour. I'm presuming we've got this stuff right now because it was controlled by the AI, so it was already building stuff up. So we're not having to start from scratch, which is good for us. It means we've got stuff we can check out. The game, the AI has already kind of built a few different things within our buildings, within our cities. You've got just kind of generic territories, nothing being built. It's all about queue-based systems. You've got all your resources at the top. We can try and construct something here, so you get an idea that how long it's going to take to construct stuff. 22 hours, 18 hours, 16 hours, and these are real world hours. Okay, relocate your headquarters. That takes a full day to do it. So if Germany start invading. Paris is pretty safe, but if we had already taken Great Britain, then we might go, hey, let's kind of move our own capital elsewhere because we're losing the front. So it's about managing your resources. It's about building up your cities. It looks like we've lost, or we've taken. Well, there's a war going on in Bern anyway, which is Switzerland, I believe. Yeah. So who's currently controlling that? I guess Germany are probably attacking it. Oh, was France attacking it? Were we attacking it? Damn, France. We've already got an early invasion going on. It's what, day 5? Cool. So you've got different cities, you've got different units, and you can move them around. They go through different routes, and they'll take generally the quickest route if you're doing a long maneuver. So if we wanted to go kind of all the way over here, I don't know why it's trying to go. There we go. How long would that take? This will provoke a war and harm the morale of our population. Your units are passing through the territory of Austria. Let's do it. So, he's now moving. Let's see how long it's going to take him. He will arrive. So there you go. 9 hours that's going to take to move from one country into just the next one. So that's 9 hours. Just from there to there. We won't be attacking South Korea anytime soon. Now obviously that's a ground unit. Plane units will go a lot faster. So you do end up battling around your own area more often than not. I think that's probably why America is so popular, because you've not got many borders that you're going to be conflicted with. It's going to be one nation there, one nation there. Maybe some kind of around here. Brazil could potentially attack by boat, but in general you're pretty secure, and you can build up your own army, build your forces, and then decide to invade pretty much anywhere, I guess. So it's kind of a safe place to be. Whereas if you start in Germany or anywhere in Europe, really, because of the concentration of the different nations, you're potentially around a lot of people that want to kill you, or a lot of people that want to work with you. And that's the cool thing about the game. You have the diplomacy options. We can see whether you're at peace with people. I don't know. There we go. So what's this? We've got a trade embargo with Czech Republic, or they have one with us. We've got peace with them. They've given us a trade embargo. Don't know if we are at war. So we're at war with Ireland. Cool, man. Anybody else we're at war with? We're at war with Switzerland, obviously. So it's kind of a quick overview of our diplomacy status. You have CON News, so it's like it's kind of like CNN, but conflicts of nations. Pretty cool. So we've taken France as a new military commander. So that's now let everybody. This is the global news, so everybody can check this out. It's just let everybody know that we have stepped into the AI. We've taken control of France. Lets you know different wars that are happening. There you go. Which places have been taken. Battalions have been annihilated. So kind of just an ongoing thing. And I believe this is so this is the news that's happened today. So as we've come into the game pretty fresh, we could see what happened in previous days. There you go. You've got this, which is your ranks. This is showing where the players are currently standing. I mean, I don't know. France even. Where are we? 15. It's not brilliant. Who's at the top? Russia, which isn't a surprise. The reason being is to win the game, you need to control. I believe it is. I don't think it's the territories. Oh yeah, okay. So territories are worth. You can see here, this territory here is worth 1 victory point. So generated by population level buildings in city. Whereas this actual city territory is worth 6 points. Now, given that the Russian nation starts with quite a few more, now taking into account some of these a hell of a lot bigger in comparison to France's, they do start with a lot more by default, I believe. But it just means that they've got more borders to protect. and they've got more potential enemies that are going to try and take them over. So you really kind of spread quite thin as Russia, but it also gives you quite an early game lead. If you know how to capitalize on that, then it's pretty cool. So by earning victory points, you will increase your victory point score. And the game victory conditions: player must control 1,061 victory points. That's a hell of a lot. Hell of a lot of territories or key locations. Now, taking a capital worth 8 points, and I presume, like it says, generated by population level buildings in city. The more a place levels up, the better it's going to become, the more points it's worth anyway. I'm not sure because I've not played into the game far enough to see whether that actually holds up, but that's what it says, so that's what I'm kind of going to presume. So, different places, as well as giving victory points, they also give different resources. So let's have a look. What do we get here? So that's showing us they've got an army base, they've got an air base, and so you've got some little snapshot icons, but I don't know what they are. So an arms industry. They give production per day. There you go. So they're giving a daily income, resource production, that kind of stuff. And I believe some places have specialized. What's this? Have specialized resources. So this is resource production. I don't know what that is, but it's creating that resource. Anyway, you've got different resources. Electronics, there you go. So that's creating those electronics. That's creating manpower. So different ones have different viability as to what you would want. If you feel that you're running low on electronics, then we might look at Milan and go, okay, that's a cool place for us to go. Strategically, we need resources, electronics for, I don't know. I actually don't know what we need them for. Probably rockets and stuff like that. But there you go. As we've clicked that, it shows you have market. You can buy just on the market. You can make offers and make trades with other players. Again, adding to the social aspect of the game, which is pretty cool. The mechanics in the game are interesting. It's very much okay, I'm going to set all my stuff doing what I need it to do, and then I'm going to leave the game and come back to it later on. Because, like I say, it takes hours to get anywhere. This isn't going to get resolved. We're not going to see what happens with this guy during this video. But you would come back to the game later on. So, whilst all that element is good, the thing that I do really like about the game is the actual real-world diplomacy. So we know that this dude here in Germany is a player. Now, I could be kind of speaking to him and saying, let's see where Germany fares on the. There you go. So he's below us, just about in terms of score, stats wise, wealthiest nations. So that's giving us the players as opposed to the. Oh, there we go. World's most notorious nations. Oh, the most hated. Wow. Okay, so Germany is the most hated. I guess he might be warring with a couple of people. Okay. We might be saying like, hey, yeah, we're mongers too. We love fighting people. Why don't we work together? And he might be like, okay, well, we've got more industry and resources than you. We've got a stronger standing army than you. I don't know what he has at the moment. What are you going to bring to the table? And he might say, okay, well, I've got, who have we got? Who have we got next? So I've got Poland. If that was a player, I've got Poland breathing down my neck. And I'm like, well, I've got Great Britain kind of breathing down my neck. So why don't we kind of put a strong front from Berlin to defend Poland? Make them think twice about doing anything, and then you can kind of send back end and we'll take over Britain to make sure the back's covered, and then we'll expand outwards through Europe. Okay, so that's real world negotiations that you're going to have with another player. By using the information that you've got at hand, you can kind of say, you can kind of make your own demands, you can make negotiations, and I say, okay, well, yeah, that's cool, but I need you to kind of give me some fuel resources. I want more armor, but I'm, my cities, I only have one fuel. I mean, in fairness, we've got one as well. So, if you'd lost Bremen, I've lost Bremen, so I'm losing my fuel resource. I'm like, okay, well, we'll substitute you some, and we'll take Bremen back with you. All these kind of things you would have to deal with. Now, this way around, we could take out Great Britain, leaving ourselves a little bit vulnerable in France, knowing that Germany's covering us on our flank, and then Germany could just decide, you know what, yeah, and then they could come and attack us. They could totally betray us. Again, it's that real world diplomacy and negotiations that add a new dynamic to the game, which is very, very cool. So, research. Idle research slots. Okay, let's have a look. So you've got a different research. You can train infantry, armor, rockets, choppers, fighters. Okay, just different types of bombers and stuff. Naval, subs, and then ballistics. One of the things I like about it is that, as well as having the kind of slightly branched trees where you can kind of choose what you want to go into, that kind of stuff, they are locked by day. So we're at day 5. That means nobody can train man-portable air defenses yet, because we've not hit day 6. Come day 6, then we can train it. And it's got this staggered. Okay, you can't have these top tier research technologies so early in the game. Okay, you can't just go, yeah, let's go basic airborne, jungle warfare training, rapid deployment, and go straight to that. Which that might be awesome when you get it. What have we got for tanks? There you go. So the Challenger 2 comes out in day 11. If somebody was just beelining to research straight down that track to get this guy, they're probably going to have quite a bit of an advantage to somebody that's gone, okay, well, I'm going to put a bit of research in this one, a little bit of piece, and spread themselves thinly. Somebody that's gone straight into a kind of end game tank can be quite imbalancing. The reason this needs to be in place, as well as being able to kind of balance the people trying to make a direct line for stuff, is that there is premium cash. There's premium currency. So there's gold currency that you can spend, and you spend this to rush production, to rush research, to, I think, probably make troops move faster. I don't know. Maybe not. Rush. There you go. Increased speed, 50% penalty. Okay, so that looks like you can just rush it anyway. But yeah, a lot of it is speeding up production time and speeding up your research. So if I wanted to go for, what have I got? Have I got this? So if I start that, so I could buy it now. It'll cost me 939 gold, and I get it straight away. If you had it openly accessible, players could just buy straight to the end tasks, and you just crippled the game. So it's a good way of letting players spend gold to advance, but still limiting them in various ways. So that's kind of the general premise of it. There's a lot in it. You can kind of see there's a lot of information with the game, and taking all that information and then working out how you want to achieve your victory, either trying to do it solo or forming an alliance with other players. I actually don't know how you form an alliance, but there's only what's it? Admin, build queue, see list. Okay, so this is just an overview of what's going on at the moment, what buildings we've got. I guess that's damage on that particular vehicle. He's in Bordeaux. Lots and lots of information. You have to kind of keep on top of it. Once you start going, starting in the middle of a nation and just picking it up, it's pretty hard because they've done a load of stuff, and then you're essentially working out what they were doing and where they've got up to. But let's have a look. So you've got Intel as well. Intel's pretty cool. Let's have a look at Milan. So we can recruit an agent that costs $10,000, which we don't have enough because we've only got 5,000 at the moment. But you can recruit them, and they will sit in an area, and then you can use them to do missions. So there you go. Agents gather intel about the enemy's diplomatic and economic activities. So we can see who Germany, or well, in this case Milan, so Italy, who they are currently at war with, who they've made an alliance with. So if we were talking about making our alliance with Germany, and then we found out that they were already in alliance with Spain, any move that we make against Great Britain might be for us to weaken ourselves so that Spain and Germany could collapse in on us, and we'd be done for. So it's pretty cool to try and get information about your neighbours to find out what they're doing before you make your own actions. You've got other stuff, so agents on corrupting missions wreak havoc among the enemy's resource production and population. So you can try and weaken them, or you can deal direct damage to them. You've got these actions, again, they take 10 hours, 53 minutes. What does this say? There you go. So these are your different overview of what you can do. But you can spend gold to do things, I guess, instantly. So if we spent 750 gold, there you go. Political relations. They've got a trade embargo with all these people. So this is Italy. Their current... oh, so that gives all of Italy. Okay, so it's not just Milan. That's pretty cool. So let's have a look at Germany then. That is Germany. Of course it's Germany. Frankfurt. So if we're going to gather country intel. So we've got right of way with Japan. Trade embargo, trade embargo, trade embargo, trade embargo. Doesn't say who they're at war with. And then we can reveal their forces. There we go. So we can see where they're geared up, where they're planning on, showing their forces. There you go. Middle mouse click lets me scroll around. I did wonder. So we've got Germans going into Prague. And that seems to be about it. Who's this? So that's Austria. Our boy's moving pretty quickly. I think it's going to slow down once it starts hitting mountain regions, because terrain does actually count. So it kind of shows forest areas, mountain areas, plains. So they do have some relevance. Sorry, if we come out of Intel, there we go. Now we can check it. So open ground, light vegetation favors mobile warfare. See the info screen for more details. Whereas forests, medium vegetation, reduces movement, favors defense. So you know whether you've got kind of fortified borders or not. So here we go. Here we've got Germany, so we can check these dudes out. Where are they heading? Where are you heading to? I don't know where they're going. So strong unit speed, efficiency, current position, destination. Oh, so they're heading to Ghent, which is there. So they're just moving to there. That's fine. You can go to Ghent. I don't mind that. So yeah, so you can check out where everybody's at. Now, we've just kind of seen the power of gold. And it is pretty powerful. It's also really expensive. It gives you a nice edge, but I don't believe it's something where you can spend your way to the top without kind of crippling your bank account. I'm sure there's plenty of people that have so much money that they just want to win every game and they're happy to spend real cash to win instead of playing to win. But I think for most people that's not going to be the case. And if Conflicts of Nations is anything like Supremacy 1914 and Call of War 1942, I believe that they had gold-free games, so players could set up a game and you couldn't spend gold in it, which is cool. That's the kind of thing I would personally prefer. You don't want people having these unnecessary advantages. You don't want a player being able to just reveal everything that you've got just because they spent some cash. But yeah, there's just so much in the game. And look at the size of this thing. I can't imagine, as somebody in France, ever really kind of getting into an altercation with Chile. They're just so far away. You know, you can have your own stuff going on at home that I think it's it's kind of like multiple wars. I imagine it's kind of like a battle for the United States and the Americas, and then a battle for Europe and a battle for Asia, and it's just whoever manages to kind of dominate the quickest. It'd be cool to see like a day 30 game and see where players are at. And I've no idea how long a game would normally last, but I imagine it takes quite a while to reach 1061 victory points. That's essentially wiping 10 players, 11 players out of the game. I don't know. If you took Europe, I guess that'd pretty much do it. But that'd be hard. It'd be really difficult. But fun to do. So there you go. I think I've covered most of the stuff. I think we've kind of given an overview of what everything is. Like with combat itself, once our units attack an enemy, they will do it automatically. Okay, it's not something where it goes into a map or anything. It's just based off the morale of your units. You know, if they've been kind of in war for so long, or if they're injured, then they're not as strong. As well as the type of unit, the type of enemy you're going up against, and again the terrain. So there's lots that goes into the actual combat element, but there's no actual in-battle involvement from the player. So again, it is a full strategy. It's a real-time strategy. It's a persistent world. If I log off, this all carries on. So you need to kind of keep checking in to make sure you're up to date with what's going on. But other than that, I think that's everything. So hopefully you found the video informative. If I've kind of glossed it over something, or I've got the wrong end of the stick, then please feel free to let me know in the comments below. I want to make sure that people are fully understanding of what the game is about. And there is a lot to it. It's a very, very deep and involved game. It's very cool. I do think it's up there as far as these RTS games. I quite like that it's a modern day setting as well. It kind of has that ominous feeling of what World War III might really feel like, which might not be that far away with the current political climate. Let's not get too political on the channel though. So yeah, so if you like the video, then please give us a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button and you'll find out when we release more of our videos as and when they come out. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter at f2pcom, or over on our official website at www.f2p.com, where we have all sorts of news, reviews and videos and giveaways and all that good stuff. So thank you guys for watching. I have been Goodfellow. You have been you. This has been Conflict of Nations, and hopefully we shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.